Hi everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Katie. I'm the owner of Scratch and Sniff Grooming, located in East Salem. Um, Today we're going to do a little video on grooming your dog between grooming, if that makes sense. The way I like to think about it is we don't brush our hair once a month and then we're good to go. To maintain a healthy coat on your pet, you do need to brush their hair out. Even if they're a no shedding breed, there really is no such thing as a non-shedding dog. Every dog sheds, just like every person sheds their hair. The difference is with a short-haired or a smooth-coated animal, mostly dogs, that's the shed that everybody knows, and oh, it's so horrible, and yeah, it happens. It's a natural thing. Some dogs do shed more than others, but the whole non-shedding breed is a myth because, like I said, all dogs shed. The reason they say that they don't shed is because they don't actually drop much of their hair. It gets stuck, and that's it would be the undercoat that gets stuck in the hair, and that causes mats because it doesn't come out unless you brush it. There's no way around it. If you get a dog that has a double coat, like a husky or a German shepherd or a collie, anything like that, poodles don't really have a double coat, but they have curly coats. You have to brush them. There's no way around it. And you really shouldn't, unless you have your appointment scheduled out, once a month, every 4 to 6 weeks. They go to the groomer, they get brushed out, then you can slide on brushing them at home a little bit, but I still recommend brushing your pet at home in between groomings. So yeah, there's that. But I just kind of thought I'd start doing these videos to kind of help people know how to properly brush their dog. A lot of times we have pets come in the shop and people will say, well, I brush them and I brush them and I brush them, and then I take them back and here they're actually matted, and that's because a lot of people don't know how to properly brush their dog. Part of my job as a pet care professional is to educate people, so let's do some educational videos. Obviously I'm not in my shop today. I'm at home because of Storm Stella. We're actually closed today, but I brought some basic brushes home with me, so I can kind of show you and give you an idea of what you would need. If my dog Mason cooperates, I can maybe do a little bit with the scissors that we got. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so just as a starter, today we're going to be discussing brushing out long-haired and curly-coated dogs first, just because they require more brushes, and obviously short-haired dogs don't mat. They still need brushed out, but there are more brushes involved with a long-haired and curly-coated dog. And pardon Mason eating in the background. He's decided he wants to eat now instead of when he was supposed to. Anyways, so the first brush we're going to talk about is a slicker brush. It's just a wire brush. They're really good to do like an all-over brush out, kind of, they help break up mats and things. Yeah. Lost my train of thought there. A good way to know how much pressure, because I know a lot of people get a little bit nervous because they are sharp on the wire ends. I've poked myself many times, so I can tell you they're sharp. Anyways, a good way to know how much pressure to put, the inside of your wrist here. If you take the brush and brush along here, if it doesn't hurt you, it's not going to hurt your dog. So that's kind of how you know how much pressure to use. One of the places I find that a lot of dogs come in with tangles or on their ears. So a good way to, I don't have a long-haired mannequin dog, so we're going to have to pretend that she has hair. A good way, how I brush out ears, I'll take a hold of the ear firmly, but gently, of course, because you don't want them to whip around and all that other stuff. You start at the bottom of the hair, wherever that may be, and you brush up. You just kind of systematically work your way up the ear. And then I'll do just one solid brush down. And then do that a couple times. Same for underneath. Start at the bottom, work your way up, brush through. Do that a couple times. And then you're still not done. You'll need another brush to go through that, and we'll talk about that in just a second here. But yeah, slicker brushes, they come in all different sizes, brands. We sell master grooming tools in the shop. I think this is a medium-sized one. So we have like an extra small, and then we have, I think it's either a large or an extra large. I can't remember. But these are one of the brushes that you need to have to brush out your long hair or curly coated dog. A lot of people will just get a slicker brush and think they're fine, when in reality you need at least 2 types of brushes to get your dog properly brushed out. So yeah, I think that's about all I have on the slicker brush. I'm going to get our next brush and be right back. Alright, so we're ready to talk about our next brush that we need to use for brushing out a long hair or curly coated dog. This is the brush that I use the most in the shop. It is called a greyhound comb. Why? I have no idea, but that's what it's called. There are a couple different types of these as well. I typically stick with, it's called a fine coarse. There you go. This would be the fine side. This would be the coarse side. Whichever side you need to use. Like I said before, like if we're doing ears, which is where I find a lot of mats, because they're not easy to brush if you're, you know, not doing it every day for 9 years. So anyways, we'll take the ear again. We took our slicker brush, brushed it all out, felt that we got most of the tangles out. Then you take your greyhound comb, and you can start with the coarse side first, and then it depends on how well I think I got the knots out. If I'm fairly sure that I got all of the knots out with the slicker brush, I'll start at the top and just do like just a brush down. If I couldn't get them all out with the slicker, which a lot of times you can't, which is why you need at least two brushes. Start at the bottom again, work your way up. If you get like a clump of a knot, you can kind of pick up that mat or knot and work at the end of that. Just kind of pick at it till you get it out. Hopefully I'll do another video with an actual dog that I can show you with hair how that works. but this would be the brush that you would do that with. Um, then once you think you got the bulk of the larger knots out, spin it around to your fine side, do it again. Brush out, go work up from the bottom, brush out. If you got a little mat, pick it out from the bottom, the end of the hair up to the base, till you get it out. And that's how you brush out an ear. But yeah, this is the brush that I use the most in the shop. I use it to kind of check over. If I can't get this through, then I go to a slicker brush, and then I'll come back to the the Greyhound comb. I can't talk today, apparently. We're gonna blame it on the weather. Thanks, Stella. You go back to the Greyhound comb and just keep brushing out until you get all the tangles out. So yeah, this is the Greyhound comb. There's really not a whole lot to explain about it. Same, know how hard to brush. Use the inside of your wrist here. If it doesn't hurt that, you're not going to hurt your dog. Now this is, like I said, this is a coarse fine. Some dogs have super fine hair. And for those, also for some cat hair. Now this is a flea comb. It has very, very fine pins. Fleas get caught in here, and then you can pick them out and kill them. But if you have a dog with really fine hair and they're getting like little pea-sized knots, just tiny little things, they're not going to come out. They're just going to slip right through the fine ends of this. If you have a flea comb, do the same. Bottom of the hair, work your way up, comb it through till you get those little pea knots out. Sometimes you can pull them out with your fingers, but if you don't want to do that and you have a flea comb, which I recommend having so you can check your dog, you can get them out with a flea comb because it's very, like I said, they're very, very fine pins, and it works really well to get little mats out. Alright, so the next brush that we have, it's called an undercoat rake. These are really good for huskies and collies and any type of really thick coated dog that has a lot of undercoat. It's just start at the bottom, rake up the whole way over their body. You want to be able to run. The goal is when you're properly brushing a dog, you want to be able to get, wrong end, this through their hair without tugging on anything, without getting stuck in any hair at all, down to the skin. Because I know some people will come in and say, well, I brush and brush and brush and brush my dog, and you're telling me that it's matted. And I can look at their hair, say their hair is about this long. Mom and Dad are only brushing down here at home because they're not getting the whole way down to the skin, which is the most important thing. If you don't get the whole way down to the skin, you're only brushing that top layer, and all of that undercoat is just, anytime they get wet, anytime they rub around on the ground, it's just getting more tangled, knotted up, and that's when I have to shave them and do it, just a complete do-over. Which happens, and sometimes it's better than me trying to brush out the dog. Obviously, the safety of the dog is my number one concern. If they look silly for a while, they look silly for a while. At least their skin wasn't pulled apart because we're trying to save the hair. We do humanity before vanity. That's the most important thing. So yeah, if you have a double coated dog, an undercoat rake is also something that is very nice to have. This is a double row one, so it gets a little bit deeper and you can pull out more hair. Again, these are all master grooming tools so far. I think I only have one that is not, and that is our next brush that I could not get out of the package. So anyways, this is more for a short-haired dog, like Mason back there on his bed. This is what I use on him. It's a rubber brush with little, I don't know what you would call, little cones or whatever, teeth. And with one of these, our mannequin dog, there's really no start at the bottom, work your way up. You just brush your dog, short little strokes, and you're going to see it pull out all of this dead hair. Anything that he hasn't dropped off is going to come off with one of these. They say you can use it as a shampooing brush. You could, and they say brush it in a circular motion. I don't really do that. Like, I just go with the way that the fur is lying. I guess for a short-haired dog you could do one of these, but I don't think it's really necessary. But yeah, Zoom Groom is what I use on Mason to brush him out. I've even shown people in the shop that, oh, that can't really work, it's just a rubber brush. And I'll bring mine out and show them, like, this pile of hair just came out with this. So it really does work. It looks a little crazy, but for a short-haired dog, this is the brush you would use between having them come in and see me and have me do it as well. So I think those are all the brushes that, yeah, those are all the brushes I have. Like I said, for long-coated dogs, the two main brushes you need are a slicker and a greyhound comb. The size of the slicker doesn't matter. You can get whatever. This is a medium-sized one. I think we have from extra small to large, maybe extra large at the shop. And a greyhound comb. Like I said, I prefer the fine coarse. There's a couple different kinds, but for the most part, for in-home grooming, in between being professionally groomed, a fine coarse greyhound comb would probably be your best bet. And then also we have the flea comb, undercoat rake. All of those are good to have if you have a double coated or curly coated dog. That's about all I have for now. If you guys have any questions you'd like to send me, you can put them on our Facebook page, or you can shoot them to us as a message on the Facebook page, and hopefully I will get to answer them in another video. I guess Mason's getting bored of me videotaping. So anyways, I guess that's all for now. We'll see if Mason won't let me use him as an example on how to trim feet hair here shortly, because that will be very important with the weather that we're having, and I can explain that in the next video. Everybody stay safe, and I'll see you around. forget to brush your dogs and cats.